Good morning, students. Welcome back to my channel, Molecular Mysteries. So, here there is a new update from my channel. Hereafter, I'll also be encouraging the students who are preparing for the NEET exam. Okay, because there are many people asking me regarding the basics of your biological sciences, chemistry, and all for their NEET exam preparation. So, I'm so happy to discuss every subject possible, everything topic in possible biological sciences. So hereafter you'll also notice that I'm posting more and more interesting facts about NEET and also the last year question papers and also each and every topic in detail regarding the NEET. According to the syllabus, I will go with the NEET exam preparation. So please subscribe my channel and you'll get the updates and notifications whenever I post the video on my channel. Okay, so today you have already gone through the thumbnails, right? It's an interesting topic today, so let's make it more interesting with the video. So this is all about the pancreas. So why pancreas are more considered to be important? So you all know that you are all well aware of it that pancreas play a vital role for production of your digestive juices like pancreatic juices and all, right? And apart from it, you also have two important hormones produced from the pancreas, right? So pancreas are considered to be 98% of your pancreas are considered to be the exocrine gland. Apart from it, it has got 1 to 2 million cells in their stroma called islets of Langerhans. These are the key cells which produce different type of hormones for your carbohydrate metabolism. Okay, please notify that these pancreas maintain the carbohydrate metabolism by producing two important hormones. Okay, let's now discuss what are pancreas, where are they situated, and what are the hormones produced by it. Okay, now see, these pancreas are like flat pink colored structure, right? So they are pink colored structure that are present near their liver area. Okay, and this particular pancreas not only plays a role in digestion of your food by producing pancreatic juices, and apart from it, it is also playing a role for your carbohydrate metabolism by producing two important hormones. So what are the cells of islets of Langerhans? There are beta cells, alpha cells, and apart from that we have different delta and F cells also, but in this class I want to talk only about the beta cells and alpha cells. Okay, so now what does the beta cells produce? The beta cells mainly produce um, the insulin. So why insulin is important? So you all know that, right? Insulin is the one which maintains your glucose level in your blood, right? So whatever we consume, whatever we take into your body is what you call the polysaccharides or disaccharides or whatever it is. It has to be broken down into simpler molecules called glucose, C6H12O6. This is the structure that I have just given you for your understanding. Okay, so whatever the food that we are taking, it has to be broken down into glucose and get absorbed by the cells of your body. Then only the glycolysis would happen. So these are the islets of Langerhans, beta cells, alpha cells, and told these are the types of cells present in the islets of Langerhans of your pancreas. Okay, now let's discuss what is the function of insulin. So insulin ensures normal biosynthesis of DNA, RNA, and also the proteins. So I told you this is where the pancreas are located in your body. See, before I start about the insulin, you should be well aware about what is the normal level of your insulin in your body. Right. So insulin regulates the carbohydrate metabolism, facilitates the diffusion of glucose from blood into the cell through the cell membrane. Here comes an interesting topic. So when is it insulin produced in our body? Whenever you consume food, right? The blood glucose would be increased. Like whatever the food that you consume, immediately the blood's glucose would be increased. Immediately, what should be done? The insulin production by your pancreas would be started. The insulin will be released into your blood. This insulin, what happens? It goes into the cells where it has got insulin receptors. Each and every cell has got insulin receptors, which would only accept the insulin binding to it. This insulin binds only to the insulin receptor, and then only the glucose get absorbed by the cell. Okay, this is the prime requirement for the insulin and the glucose to enter into the cell. If there is no binding of your insulin to a receptor, the glucose won't be absorbed into your cell. So you know that why is glucose absorbed? You all know glycolysis would happen in that basis only. How is energy generated in our body? It is because the glucose is broken down. right? It is generated into ATP in mitochondria. This you all know. You have already gone through that classes in my channel, right? So that is how the glucose have to be first of all trapped into the cell. First of all, it has to be trapped. Then only it should be, further lysis would happen generating ATP, right? For that to happen, the glucose has to enter into your cell, right? So whatever the glucose is present in the blood, it has to be utilized by the body cells. Then only the carbohydrate metabolism or energy production would happen. If that doesn't happen, more and more glucose would be accumulated into your blood, which leads to diabetes, right? So I will also discuss about what is diabetes also. Okay, see, that is how this insulin regulates your carbohydrate metabolism, and it also facilitates the diffusion of your glucose from blood into the cell through your cell membrane. Okay, here I have given you a video, please understand it. See, this is the glucose molecules. This is the insulin receptor I'm talking about. This is the insulin receptor and this is insulin. See, when it is binded to it, glucose got immediately absorbed into the cell. See, consider these are all the cells. And every cell has got an insulin receptor, right? And this is the flower shaped one is the insulin. Example for your benefit I'm telling you. So insulin receptor, know that, right? Binding would be like enzyme and catalyst, right? How they bind to ligand, like enzyme and ligand, how they bind to each other. So that is how they would be, the whole receptor would be bounded in such a way that the receptor insulin would easily bind to the receptor properly. Then only the glucose get absorbed into the cell. So this is how has this normally happens. This is what happens normally in every person whoever consumes food where insulin produces, and how the body maintains that glucose level normally. But there are some people where there is no proper maintenance of your glucose, like which leads to insulin resistance. Like, first of all, there would be no production of insulin in your pancreas. That is where they people start taking the external insulin. They take the injections based on the units and all. They keep taking the insulin before they consume food. They take the insulin and then consume food, right? Because before taking the meal, when they just produce the insulin externally, the body will be waiting for the food to come. Once the food comes, the insulin would make sure that particular glucose is entering into your body cell for your energy purpose. That is how the whole cycle is, right? So for that to happen, insulin has to bind to the insulin receptor for every body cell. So this is how normally the blood thing happens. So I'll also show you how the insulin resistance would happen. So this is something interesting that I've shown you. This is how the cell looks like when the glucose enters into the cell, how the metabolisms would happen. These are all the cell organelles present, like centrioles, you have nucleolus, you have nucleus, you have endoplasmic reticulum, you have Golgi complex, you have mitochondria, you have rough endoplasmic reticulum also, tubules and all. Just for your understanding how this is how it happens. Okay, for example, consider these are the receptors and this is the insulin that is binding to it. All the glucose molecule will be absorbed into your cells in this way. Okay, so hope I'm not confusing you. So this is how the insulin maintains your regulates your carbohydrate metabolism. But there are some conditions where this is not accepted, the cell is not accepting it. Okay, I'll also show you in this class only how the cell is not accepting it. See, that is what you call insulin resistance. Here comes the glucose molecule, but there is no receptor bound to that. So that is why glucose is not accepted by the cell and is immediately moved away from the cell. Okay, that is how, see, the glucose molecule is trying to enter into the cell, but there is no binding of insulin to the receptor. That is why that is not glucose is not accepted by the cell and it leaves as such, because there is no proper receptor accepted. That is why the glucose level keeps on increasing. So if you notice what is the normal level of your glucose, it is 100 mg per deciliter of your blood. That is a normal glucose level for every person, for a normal healthy person. So as they grow old, or as they, if they don't have a proper lifestyle of, if they have a sedentary lifestyle of, or if they have any family history of like that, they have a little changes in their blood glucose level, because there could be either insulin may not be properly produced by the pancreas, or though insulin is produced, some cells may not be accepting that particular insulin and thus glucose level may be increased in your body. So there are some conditions which are called as diabetes mellitus. Okay, we have two types of diabetes. There are diabetes 1 and diabetes 2. Okay, so in the next class, I'll also discuss about what are the types of diabetes and what makes them different from one another. Okay, so in this class, I have discussed about insulin. Sorry, I thought of discussing about glucagon also. So this is the important hormone. That's why I took more time for the understanding. Now, let's talk about the glucagon. Glucagon is an important hormone, what is also produced by the alpha cells of your pancreas. So, what happens here? So, whenever you are deprived of your energy, like when there is no energy in you, there is no proper amount of glucose, and you are even like when you are not healthy and your glucose level is completely low, what happens? There are some ways which I have already gone through called gluconeogenesis, production of new glucose from non-carbohydrate sources, right? So gluconeogenesis is also, I have also attached that in the channel, like in the description. Please go through it. Okay, where whenever there is no proper glucose in the body, immediately the stored liver called liver has a stored form of glucose called glycogen, right? In the same way, this glucagon which is present by the pancreas would also help in initiating the gluconeogenesis for the healthy production of your glucose. Okay, so that is how you maintain the glucose level in your body. Either it should be a glycolysis for energy production, or if there is no glucose, body would immediately encourage for gluconeogenesis. So that is, body is such an incredible body, like body helps in maintaining your carbohydrate metabolism, so that it helps in maintaining a healthy life. So hope I am clear with all the doubts that you have in your mind regarding the glucose and insulin. So in the coming classes, I will also discuss about the important topics and interesting topics. Please get tuned to my channel, and thank you and have a nice day.